This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome back to another episode of the FXBG Neighbors Podcast, where we share the stories of our favorite local brands. I have a special guest joining me today. We've got Giovanni Delfino joining us, and he is with DelfinoCo. Giovanni, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Dory. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to dive in and learn all about you and your business. So let's start there. What is DelfinoCo?
Sure. So first of all, I'm originally from Peru. That's why I get this accent. So when I came to the States, one of the things that I wanted to do is to help or dedicate my life to business. I always grew up with entrepreneurs and business, and my father was a CFO for a corporation, and he always told me stories about things that he would do, or decisions that we would have to take in business. And I grew up with all of that. And at one point, I decided I wanted to study business administration to help other businesses and also start my own business. So I started DelfinoCo 13 years ago with the idea to help small businesses. As you know, many businesses have great chances of small chances of success and great chances of failure many times. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the things that also inspired me to do my part to help small businesses succeed.
Amazing. So walk us through some of the services that you offer.
Sure. So at DelfinoCo, it started as a marketing agency and also advisory with developing your concept, developing all the basics to start a business successfully, and then just some marketing trainings as well. I started partnering with chambers of commerce and business development centers and all kinds of different government providers as well as private providers to also provide the trainings like seminars and workshops and all of that.
Amazing. So I'd love to learn more about you. Tell me about your background and how you got into this.
Sure. So when I went to school in Maryland, I studied business administration, like I mentioned before, and then while I was studying, I was also working in management positions in many different industries. I started in restaurants, then moved on to the healthcare industry, being in construction industry, IT as well. So that gave me a broad perspective and a lot of experience, which I later on brought to my company to help small businesses, succeed. But a big part of it that allowed me to do that was the openness to develop relationships, and that has been a big part of it. It helped me a lot along the way.
Amazing. So do you find that there are any myths or misconceptions about the industry?
I think, I don't know if there's a misconception per se, but I think many times what happens is people think they don't need help. And it's not negative to ask for help or to look for help. And actually, what's going to help you succeed is to actually understand that you don't know it all. You don't have to know it all. You have to move forward and learn fast in the process to be able to make better decisions in the process and move on in the process, because you can keep going and go through all these traps and issues that you're going to find along the way, but the more you learn and the faster you adapt is going to help you to succeed at the end.
I love that you said that, because you don't have to have everything figured out. You can learn it along the way, but also as long as you have resources and people like you in your corner that can advise you and help you with those things, that kind of takes the burden off. You don't have to know everything if you've got the right resources and the right people in your corner, right?
That's right. That's right. And I think Jim Rohn used to say it's really important to learn and be open to continuously learn, because the more you learn, the more you can do, the more you can become, right? To be bigger, to do more, right? He used to say, we are not trees, right? We can actually change and adapt and grow and make things happen. You can you don't have to stay where you are. You can do more. You can be more.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm for those of you who are listening to just the audio, I'm looking at your background, Giovanni's background, and I see some fancy awards on the shelf. So tell me about those awards.
Yes. So I for since the beginning, I did a lot of contributions to media in terms of economic analysis or business expertise. And but at one point along the way, I met my wife, who's not now my wife. She is a producer, a journalist. She has been in television for many years, all her life, pretty much. And but when she started to be independent, started her own production company, she started producing Buenos Días. Actually, Silvana Quiroz Presente is the name of, or Silvana Quiroz Presents, right? So it's a Spanish magazine show, and she was looking for someone to cover business and economics. So that's how we ended up meeting, because I was already doing all of that for many other media outlets as well. So she invited me to start helping with that segment, talking about economics or business, and then that's how we met, and we started our relationship. And later on, just about 2 years ago, we produced a show or a mini documentary called El Alma del Negocio, the soul of the business. And in this show, in this episode, we focus on coffee and businesses around coffee here in the DC metro area. And we told the stories of many of the entrepreneurs and their journey around coffee and building a business around coffee. And in that, with that specific piece, we won an Emmy Award. And that was a great thing that we were able to do together, and of great pride as well.
Amazing. That's fantastic. What a great accomplishment. And I love seeing that award behind you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. If someone were to come to you and they were to tell you, I'm thinking about opening a business, what advice would you give them?
So sometimes, like I said, many people think of starting a business as something where you have to have everything figured out before you do it, right? But it's not necessarily the case. You should, first of all, you should learn, right, as much as you can, but you don't have to know it all from the beginning. You can learn in the process. You can learn and figure things out in the way. Because as you move on in that journey, you're gonna find someone used to tell me it's like going in a hall and you start seeing doors along the way, right? As you move on, and you don't have to be able to see all of doors in the hall. As you move on, you can start deciding which way to go, which door to open, which not. Or there's another analogy where they say if you're driving, right, in the night and you have your lights on, right, to be able to look, you just need to look a few feet forward. You don't need to look all the way to your destination. So it's the same thing in business. So it's start your business. The moment is always now, right? Because sometimes also people think that they have to look for the perfect moment, right?
Yeah.
And the perfect moment doesn't arrive. And even if it does, you don't want to be starting or having to go through all the process of starting when the opportunity already appeared, because you're not going to be ready for it, right? So you want to be able to start now so that you can keep moving, learning, processing, and adapting, and then when the opportunity arrives, you're already ready for it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that you said the perfect moment is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's
Yes,
great.
it is.
So, what is something that you wish the listeners knew about DelfinoCo?
I would say that we are adapting as well, and we have been adapting over the years. And I had the opportunity to also meet a lot of great professionals and inspiration, also in this process, in this journey. And as a matter of fact, I think we met through some of the work I've been doing with Success. As you know, Success is a magazine that has been out there published for over 130 years. It's one of the pioneers in personal development and growth, and I was able to be chosen to be or selected to be the coach at Success Spaces in Fredericksburg. Wonderful new concept under the Success brand, which includes the co-working spaces, also includes a coffee shop, nice coffee shop, where you can work from if you want. You don't need to have a membership to go to the coffee shop. You can just go ahead and get your coffee and work from there if you want to. And if you want a private space, you can use the co-working spaces. But what is also something new in the area is that Success decided to include coaching into that mix, right? So I was trained by Don Hobbs, a wonderful, great, very well-known coach, and he actually was trained by Jim Rohn back in the day when he was only 17, and he used to train alongside with Tony Robbins, because they were both 17. They both joined at the same time and pretty much grew up together under the arm of Jim Rohn, and learned everything from him. And I think I'm very lucky to be able to learn from him, and be able to use those methodologies to help the businesses here in the Fredericksburg region.
Amazing. Amazing. So if the listeners want to learn more from you, if they want some coaching from you or just want to connect, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can go ahead and find me at delfinoco.com, or also you can find us at Success that space, and you will find the different locations we have. Specifically in Fredericksburg, we have a wonderful space. I will love to give you a tour if you stop by sometime.
Amazing. Amazing. Giovanni, thank you so much for joining me on the FXBG Neighbors podcast and sharing DelfinoCo with me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com.